it's a 48 volt lithium battery install on a customer's narrowboat, and it's not a how to video. I want to go through it all and try and give you an idea of what's going on, but try and get across why it is such a good system. So it's a really new thing, and Victron launched their new 48 volt 100 amp hour battery. It's probably about a year ago now, maybe just over, and it goes along with their new Lynx BMS, their new NG system, and the whole Lynx system is really nice. It's got a new Class T power in with two Class T fuses in the module. So I'll put a link in the description to one of Victron's videos where they explain what's going on with the new Lynx BMS and some of the new features and their new NG lithium batteries. So the other thing which has happened is that Wakespeed have been working on the firmware on their WS500 alternator regulator, and they've been improving the small engine feature. So that's how the regulator throttles back alternator load at lower engine speeds, and it's so important that it's working properly and working well when you fit in a big alternator, any voltage, to a narrowboat engine. So they did some beta versions and some test versions of this of the update back in early 2025, and I've used those. I've been using those on all my installs since. So I've only been fitting the Wakespeed regulator on all my lithium jobs. So there's a few elements to the Wakespeed and features, I suppose, which all come together to make the alternator performance for this install like absolutely fantastic. To give you an idea, it's basically 4 kilowatts continuous, and that's like outside the small engine mode. So the equivalent 12 watt system would be 300 amps continuous. So it's just on a different level to 12 and 24 volt. I'll try and explain in the description, and maybe have a link to my website where I explain what's going on with the Wakespeed. With this system, there's a few really nice parts where how it integrates with the Lynx BMS, and has its own shunt, and that's measuring alternator power. Okay, but the main reason you want to go 48 volt, or probably more important than alternator charging, is being able to fit a big multi, a big inverter. And on this job we've used a 5000, a 48 5000, and there's a few different models. It's a big market for Victron. So 48 volt, there's a lot of models, and I'd recommend somewhere between the 5000 and the 8000, and there's a few new models as well. I'll put a link in the description to those new models. But what it lets you do, it lets you run multiple appliances at the same time. So for the galley, you can use an induction hob and an air fryer at the same time. So it's a really, really big deal for a modern narrowboat where you've got a lot of electrical appliances. Okay, so yeah, if you're interested in this work and you want to, I can come out, look at the boat, measure up, and give you a pretty accurate price. It's a fairly standard job, I suppose. For the engine, it's important that it's got a pulley V and it can take this alternator, but I've had pulleys made for it. I've had like freewheeling pulleys made for the alternator, so it's a straightforward install on a lot of the engines now. So anything from the Beta 43 upwards, the Canaline 42 and upwards, Barrus Shire, anything with a pulley V crank pulley, and also for some of the Volvo Penta engines as well. So yeah, check out the description, and I'll put more info about that and make it clear of you know, what I've been going on about. Okay, thanks for watching.